game, dead game. Dead game, dead aim, I throw them things, let them things swing. Bang, bang, I bring the pain, ain't no competition. Opposition brought to submission, need the top position. With precision, it ain't no mission, I'ma drop something, pop something, won't see it coming on my spot one, and I'm right here, I'm not running, we can do it till you hurt, do it on your turf. Got him pulling up his skirt, scared to come and get this work. From a hit to the pick of the litter, hit like a pit, I'm a winner with it. Just show my contender, I'ma eat buddy for dinner. Heart of a rebel, I fought my way out the ghetto.
Alright, this Dope Air magazine, we're sitting here with the GBO Champ. Let them know who you is, bro.
Bilal Mahasin, GBO Champ. Fighting junior lightweight, junior welterweight division, 140 pounds. Record is 7-1. Won a title April 25th and defended the title just last Saturday.
So, what made you jump into this realm of boxing, shall I say?
Man, I've been fighting all my life. Always liked to fight. Coming up in the rough streets of Oakland. I'm from the 20s. I'm from the Dubs, and I actually moved to the Dubs when I was like 10 years old. So I had to fight my way into, being accepted. Damn near fought everybody on my block and a couple of blocks around. And, was eventually accepted. And then from there, it was, Oakland was hostile back in the days in like the early 90s. East Oakland versus West Oakland versus North Oakland versus Deep East Oakland. It was just, everybody was, repping their own hood. And at least I came at the end of where it was, still some fist fighting. It wasn't always, you get shot. Fist fight turned into, gunfire. It was a fist fight. So I came up fighting in Oakland. I'm a East Oakland knuckle slinger, man.
All right, so we had a talk before. You was telling me about the transition from jail to being home free. So do you want to tell the viewers at home about that transition, mentally, emotionally, physically, and how are you dealing with these things or this aspect of being here today?
Yeah, man. Sometimes when a lot of times I try not to think about it too deeply or meditate, ponder on it too far, because it is overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? In 2002, I was convicted of a first-degree armed robbery and sentenced to 12 years. I had been on the run for 2 years. I actually caught the case when I was 19. They locked me up when I was 21. And they actually got me after my fight on ESPN2 Friday Night Fights. That was May 16th. And 2 weeks after that, they came and got me. I guess they found me. They saw me fighting on ESPN and came and surrounded the house I was staying right off Park Boulevard, a little spot. And they surrounded the house and came and got me. I was 3-0 at the time, and I was moving up, my career was halted at that time, and being locked up, at times I felt like, my career was over with. Wasn't no more boxing. I'll be too old when I get out. I'll be 32. I was 21. So I figured it was over. But then what kind of sparked it was I saw Andre Ward fighting in the Olympics, and we was stable. We was not exactly stable mates, but gym mates. We was at the same fighting out of King's Gym back in the days. And I remember he was an Oakland dude, and he had some hood to him. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think that he was going to transition. I thought the streets was going to catch up with him like it caught up with me. But instead, he transitioned. He ended up winning the gold medal and went on to be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, undefeated to this day. So that inspired me to say, I can stay focused in here, man, and get back out and do that, and pursue that, and see some light at the end of the tunnel. So I came home, got back in the gym immediately, and challenged the best dude in the region. Was a dude named Morris Rodriguez, and he had just came off a big knockout victory over a dude named Jonathan Chicas out of San Francisco, who had a record of something like 10-0, 7 knockouts or something like that. And he knocked him out in 3 rounds. And so I challenged him. I said, I want some of that work. Because I wasn't tripping off getting knocked out. I've never been knocked out, never been knocked down. So I wasn't tripping off getting knocked out. I really had to have some boxing skills to beat me, which I didn't identify no boxing skills in his repertoire. So I smashed him. You know, I actually broke his orbital. And that just bounced my career up to being ranked 27 in the nation. And from there, I've just been winning ever since, pretty much.
So tell us about some of your mentoring things that you're doing right now. You say you visiting schools and things of that nature and giving positive talks. Can you also tell us about anything that you're doing in the community right now? And do you want to shed some light on some of the things that you're going to do or that you plan on doing?
Yeah, I definitely see myself as a community role model. And I kind of saw myself as that, you know, even when I was young. I felt like I stood out. I was born and raised Muslim. My grandparents was Muslim. My parents were Muslim. My father and my mother actually met at a Muslim school. So it's been in me. I've been fasting for Ramadan my whole life since I was like 9 years old, making salat, learn how to, you know, pray in Arabic, and even read the Quran in Arabic at the age of like 15. So I've saw myself as different from the rest of my friends. You know, Ramadan come around, I'm not eating, and everybody else is eating. You know what I mean? Christmas come around and I ain't got no gifts, and everybody, you know, so I had to explain it. You know, why is that? So I was always different. I was raised different. And you know, even in prison, you know, they made me the leader of the Muslim community in there, you know, real fast because of my knowledge of the Holy Quran, my knowledge of religion from society. Most of the people in the penitentiary had converted to Islam, you know, after being incarcerated, but I was one who had got locked up and was actually a Muslim in society before getting locked up. So they made me the leader, and I was a role model in there and had to govern, you know, a community of, I think the biggest community I governed was about 50 deep. So that's 50 people whose lives I had to be a part of and I had to keep track of, you know, and keep maintenance on. And so coming back into society, you know, I carried that with me. And I try to be a positive influence in the lives of everybody I encounter. But I know you got to start with yourself, and then it goes to family, and then it goes to your neighborhood, and then it goes to your city. You know, from your city to state, from the state to country, and from the country to the world. So, you know, I'm just starting at the grassroots level. And I go to a lot of schools. I really plan to go to all the Oakland schools and speak to the youth. I've attended maybe 5 schools and done lectures and PowerPoint presentations.
So, what would you say to a young man or a young lady out there who sees her or they see themselves being or wanting to become a boxer? What steps would you tell them to take in order to, let's say, walk your walk?
Well, if somebody want to be a boxer, I would definitely say go sign up at a gym and get started. Because, you know, I mean, the fact is that everybody can't be a champion. It's just not going to happen. I mean, that's one spot, you know what I mean? And you got thousands of people that's all fighting for the same spot. However, boxing does contain elements that can make you successful in everyday life. Everything that you have to learn to be successful in the ring are the same principles that you need to be successful outside the ring, right? Like discipline, focus, you know, paying attention, concentration, thinking under pressure. All of these are things that you're going to need in everyday life, you know, thinking fast in chaotic situations, you know. It's easy to think when you're sitting down by yourself, alone, with no distraction. But when you're in a hostile situation and things are happening real fast, it's hard to think on your feet. That's one of the biggest mistakes I think that we as African Americans tend to make. Or one skill that we lack is being able to make those critical thoughts, those critical decisions, calculations, you know, in hostile situations. You know, somebody coming here swinging or yelling a certain way, people just react as opposed to saying, what's the best response to this? You know, in that boxing ring, when you get emotional, you lose. If you get angry, you lose. You know, you lose control. So it's the most relaxed and the most calm fighter that's the best, you know, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, etc. So I would definitely encourage anybody to go to boxing, even if you don't become world champ. It's something that the principles you can carry throughout your life and benefit you in the long run.
That's what's up. So the next question I want to ask is, what is your daily routine like? Like when I say your daily routine, meaning your workout, the food you eat, fruit you eat, any kind of special smoothie you drink, or, you know, I'm pretty sure the people at home, they want to know, you know, what it takes in order to, you know, be an athlete, shall I say?
Yeah. Well, you definitely got to burn calories, right? I mean, you're not gonna get fit if you ain't burning no calories at all. And some of the quickest ways to burn calories would be running, riding a bike, jump rope. These are the things you can do to burn calories the fastest. Hitting a heavy bag burns a whole lot of calories too. Swimming, stuff like that. And then, you know, I mean, you can look it up. You can, you know, Google it or something like that, and you'll see what burns the most calories. Even like walking, you know. But so I definitely have to do those things just to keep the calories down, keep the pounds down. But what I notice a lot of people don't do, because I'm also a trainer, and one of the first things I ask people that come in is, do you miss breakfast? And a lot of people miss breakfast, you know, just in a rat race every day trying to make this money. You might wake up late, you don't have time to eat breakfast. If you're not eating breakfast and you're skipping breakfast, then you're probably doing a sumo wrestler's diet. I looked up the sumo wrestler's diet. The sumo wrestlers skip breakfast every morning. They don't eat breakfast. That's one of the main points of like gaining massive amounts of weight, is skipping breakfast, because what it does is it reverses your metabolism, slows your metabolism down. Your body goes into fast mode, and when your body believes that there's not going to be any food around, your body will start storing food and make it harder for your body to burn fat. So if you're eating at night, if you're eating late at night, snacking late at night, and you're skipping breakfast, you're doing a sumo wrestler's diet. You start looking like a sumo wrestler is because you're doing their diet. So the first thing I say is never skip breakfast. And breakfast is your meal where you can cheat, so to speak, right? If you want carbohydrates, pancakes, a little syrup on it, whatever, do that for your breakfast, right? Lunch, kind of try to skip through lunch, or kind of skate through lunch, meaning a salad, some snacks, some nuts or something like that, something small and healthy. And then for dinner, nothing but meat and vegetables. If you eat carbohydrates at night, your body's going to convert it into fat overnight. So that's pretty much the diet I stick to, you know, and I get complimented every fight of being like the most fitted most like ripped up fighter, you know, on the card, you know. So that's what I do. Is I consider it the reverse sumo wrestler diet. Regimen wise, I try to always, in my mind, I'm competing with my opponent. And I'm always competing with Superman. You know, this dude is hitting the bag right now as I'm doing this interview. My next opponent is training right now. He's thinking about me. You know, he's going to sleep with me on his mind. He's waking up with me on his mind. When he jog, he's racing me. You know, when he spar, he's fighting me. When he's hitting the bag, he's going long as I go. When I think about getting off the bag, I know that my opponent is probably thinking he's probably getting off the bag. I'm going to put in another hour. So I end up putting in another hour. You know, I try to compete with, you know, the hardest training camp. When I read about or notice like Floyd Mayweather's training regimen or Manny Pacquiao's training regimen, I try to outdo it, or at least do that in the very least, or take it beyond that. And I think that's what got me to the level that I'm at right now.
Okay. So, do you have any last words for the viewers at home?
Man, most definitely I'll say stay positive. Keep the negative energy away. I think that's been like the main component of me being successful, beyond the training and all of that. I mean, you welcome negativity around, it's just a matter of time before it consumes you. You know, and in places like the penitentiary, it's filled with negativity. The graveyard, you know, if those are your goals, if those are the destinations that you plan to go to, then keep the negative people around, keep the negative energy around. But, and that's not to say, you know, stay away from all of your people who are negative because they need help. We got to get out there, and that's one of the reasons why we have to keep positivity in our life, so that we can be the one that comes into the picture and bring something different to the table. You know what I mean? And pull them, you know, into the light out of the darkness. But you stay in the dark so long, it'll consume you.